Hi there, Zam here for NoTube, and I'm back. Christmas is over, Santa Claus is gone, and I'm here for another year. And Merry Christmas to you all, by the way. We're talking Tulsa King, Ep7, The Warr Acres, full spoilers ahead. I just want to say how much I love this show. I probably said this before. We're 7 episodes in, and we've already seen some massive progression with Dwight Manfredi from the very first episode of him just being an outsider arriving in Tulsa to now having various businesses, having a crew, extremely loyal people beside him because they believe in him and what he will do for them and the money they're making from them, but as well as also some serious enemies too. And one of these enemies is somebody who he's known for a long time because during the course of this episode we get to know a little bit more about Chuck. And unfortunately, Chuck is now in charge of the Inverness. Is that how you pronounce their names? Inverness crime family, because he does kill his father at the end of this episode, and we understand why. Don't get me wrong, we don't necessarily think that what he did was a good thing because he shouldn't be killing his dad, but we see the tension kind of build up during this episode with um, the way his dad kind of talks to him initially, how he's looking after his father, how he's kind of pissed off that his dad will probably live a lot longer than he anticipated because he was about to take over the family business, so to speak, but his dad is still going to be living, so his dad's still going to be calling the shots. We hear him talking to a priest, confessing to a priest how he never really wanted to be in this mob life, but his dad kind of guided him this way, so he's kind of become the man that he has, and he has a lot of resentment towards his dad, and that kind of builds up by the end of this episode when he kills his dad. He drowns his dad, and I kind of saw that coming. I'll be honest with you. I would have been more, in all honesty, I would have been more impressed if they didn't, because it was so obvious that it was like within just a few words. The tension just built up within Chuck so much that he just thought, fuck it, and drowned his old man. It was crazy, and because it's his father, no one's ever going to suspect him of killing his dad. And Chuck wears a wig as well, so he no longer wears his wig anymore. It's like, my dad's gone, I'm in charge, I'm going to have a new look. So he takes his wig off, he decides to be just bold and all of that, and he looks like the fucking Wilson Fisk Kingpin as well. Who knows, he might have made a good Kingpin if he wanted to ever apply for that role. But still, nevertheless, he's now in charge of the Inverness family, and this also means for Dwight that he doesn't have his insurances anymore, because whilst Pete was in charge and they were really tight and cool with each other, nothing really was going to necessarily happen to Dwight. But with now Chuck in charge, and obviously how Chuck treated Dwight's son-in-law by beating the fuck out of him. Dwight obviously doesn't know that yet, but still, it means a lot of shit's going to be coming to Dwight's doorstep, and that's something he kind of realized at the end of this episode when we saw him speaking to Goody. Now, Goody is the cancelliere for the Inverness crime family, and he comes down to Tulsa in this episode just to see how things are proceeding. He obviously comes across Armand, aka Manny, and it's very hard for him to believe that Armand and Dwight met each other coincidentally. So the Inverness family thinks that they've got something going on, and because of how successful Dwight is becoming in Tulsa, they're worried that Dwight can just easily disconnect from the Inverness family and do his own thing. And obviously, seeing Tyson, a black guy, wearing Dwight's ring, pisses off the sort of like racist mentality amongst some of the Italian crime family members, and in a way it shows you how progressive Dwight is as a mob boss, because in his family he doesn't care what you look like or who you are, as long as you're loyal to him and you can make some money. And his crime family members love Dwight. Even people like Bodie, who we find out later on in this episode is doing his own crypto NFT scheme, his own scam. He's making a shitload of money, and he's happy to bring Dwight in. Why wouldn't he be? Having somebody like Dwight along his side will give him the muscle behind his hustle. And Dwight's very impressed by all of this, and it goes to show you once again how endearing Dwight is to all type of manners of people, because someone like Bodie wouldn't want Dwight anywhere near him, but he's willing to share his enterprise with Dwight. And Dwight obviously buying into a bar now as well, so he owns a 50% of that. He wants to run a casino business as well because it'll help with the money. The sky's the limit, and Goody the Cancelleri knows all of this. He's worried about all of this, and I guess now with Pete out of the scene, Chuck is definitely going to retaliate, and his daughter's still in New York, Dwight's daughter that is, so we'll see what happens with that because she's still getting prank calls as well. We find that out during the course of the episode. She wants to move to Tulsa. Her husband doesn't want to move to Tulsa by saying, look, 1 minute you're trying to get away from your crazy gangster dad and now you want to fucking live next to him. What the fuck's going on? And she kind of got a reality check on that, but she'll probably need another reality check in order to go to Tulsa knowing that her life now is in danger. And that's just with the Inverness crime family. There's also the Black McAdam gang because as we remember, he killed the biker, him and Mitch, who shot up their bar, and he sent a message to the Black McAdam gang with the jacket with all the bullet holes in it that belonged to that particular biker. Now Roxy, the girl who works with Manny, who happens to be that particular biker's, I think his name was Pike, her girlfriend. He was her boyfriend. She's all fucking hysterical, but she's also an informant for the police. And Stacy, who she's liaising with, still wants Roxy to get more information, and so Roxy goes to the Black McAdam gang bar. She breaks into Waltrip's office. Waltrip catches her. She confesses everything to Waltrip, and then Waltrip just strangles her to death. And then when Stacy tries to get hold of Roxy by calling her because they're supposed to have a meeting, Waltrip answers the phone, basically telling Stacy, without basically telling her that Roxy's dead. And that's Stacy's fault because she was so desperate to get Waltrip that she put Roxy's life in danger. And that's what happens when you end up being an informant. I guess, you're very much likely to die. The only other thing that came from this episode was Margaret. She was the lady who owns the ranch, the horse ranch, where Dwight saved that old white horse from being put down. And so the horse is in that ranch. And then when Dwight goes to see the horse and see the young lady who's looking after the horse, Margaret comes along and asks Dwight for dinner and wants to take him out for dinner. And then we see them having a little conversation about their dinner. Whilst they're having dinner and they're talking about their lives, Dwight obviously mentions the fact that he was in jail and then he killed somebody and all of this sort of stuff. And he's enjoying the food as well because he's been in jail for so long that even Oklahoma veal tastes fantastic. It was an interesting scene, but nothing's really come from it. And whether Margaret now wants to have a relationship with Dwight will be interesting too, because we still have the Stacy love triangle with Dwight as well. And obviously Stacy, I forgot to mention, is pissed off with Dwight, thinking that Dwight killed Pike the biker, which Dwight did. But then again, Dwight had every reason to kill him because he was defending himself, but he never gave anything away. And the lies once again in this episode, they come so casually to all these different characters. When Goody mentioned to Pete and Chuck about Tina's husband being beaten up, Dwight's son-in-law being beaten up, Chuck just very casually mentioned that it wasn't them. They have no idea what the fuck they're talking about, and he seemed to just lie so easily. Just like everyone just fucking lies all the fucking time here, and they lie like it's second nature without even giving any of the game away. It's brilliant. Anyway, another fantastic episode. Once again, I'm going to give Tulsa King episode 7 this time round an 8 out of 10. It's just absolutely fantastic. I just can't get enough of this show. We're getting to the home stretch now, I guess. I think there's only 3 more episodes left. It has been renewed for season 2, which I'm all very happy about, but God knows when that will come out. But yeah, we're coming to the last 2 or 3 episodes, and I'm going to be gutted when this show's over. This is the best show on Paramount Plus now. Now, I haven't seen Yellowstone. I heard it's really good. But for me, so far, this is it. I mean, I love my gangster stuff, and this is quality gangster entertainment with that black comedy humor as well to thrown in. And you got one of Hollywood's greatest stars in Sylvester Stallone leading the charge. It's just... Chef's kiss. It's magnifique. I love it. Can't get enough. Next week can't come anytime too soon. Anyway, let me know what you think of Tulsa King episode 7, More Acres, and I'll see you guys next week. I think that'll be in 2023. So happy New Year in advance. Take care now, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe to NerdTube, the greatest YouTube channel you never heard of. Take care. Bye bye.